Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is Wednesday, February the 18th. Pretty solid day in the markets. Buying cues, nice push towards the upside. I wasn't really able to capitalize on too many good opportunities here. Some of the main watches that I was looking for didn't really have a significant push up compared to the overall indices. A couple of these semiconductors and some memory stocks moved up nicely. So let's hop straight into the charts. First things first, let's go on to my trading statistics for the month so far. So as you can see, I ended up making $2,600 today. Yesterday, $18,000, putting me up about $21,000 for the week and up about $89,000 for the month so far. The trades I ended up taking today were on Nvidia and Tesla. Tesla was a loser, Nvidia was a winner. So this was a trade that I ended up taking. Pretty solid pre-market highs plus your 5-minute range high on Nvidia. Tesla was, of course, your previous day highs along with your 5-minute range high. That one hit high of day, but and then end up not having continuation. So I ended up taking a loss in that. But before we head on to exactly the trades I end up taking, let's go on to the pre-market game plan coming to market open. So coming into market open here, we're gapping up into a key level of resistance. What I like to see is a reaction that we have off your Friday's highs of last week. SPY 685, Qs 605. I personally like to see the pop and fade down and towards your previous day close. By the time market open, we actually already ended up filling its gap towards the downside. So coming to market open, I was fairly neutral in the markets, but I mentioned still leaning bearish on the higher time frames. Based off of the higher time frame. Sorry, still leaning bearish towards the downside just based off the higher time frames. As for names I like today, the only name for upside, Nvidia and Palantir, and the rest of the names I'm leaning neutral or slightly bearish. So coming into today, let's first go on to the QQQ. The key levels that we had coming to market open was our Friday's highs. So as you can see, we kind of rejected off our Friday's highs in the pre-market, and then we're right back down in towards our previous day close. So the key level here was our Friday's high still. If we want to see longs above our 605 for continuation higher. Shorts now, we're closer to your 605 pop and fade, but since I already rejected this level, I personally didn't really like shorts too much. As for the SPY, key level here was our 685, longs above our 685 for continuation, shorts pop and fade. But as you can see, we already had that pop and fade coming into market open. So really right off the bat, I was fairly neutral on the markets. I didn't really like anything that I saw, SPY actually ended up having this nice push towards the upside. So I was leaning a little bit more towards the upside once we got above our previous day highs on both the SPY and the Qs. But with that being said, I was looking for some names. At this very moment in time, you can see Qs is breaking above our previous day highs. Tesla not doing too much. Nvidia not really doing too much. It's kind of just basing above our pre-market levels. AMD's at the low of the range. Apple not above your previous day highs. So not a single name here is above your previous day highs. So which made it for a very difficult session besides Amazon. Since there's no really relative strength on anything. The only thing that looked really solid was MU. I kind of talked about this in the pre-market. I should have put more emphasis on this name, but we kind of have this downtrend break here forming here on MU. Sorry, and we're basing above your key breakout level. So I mentioned we can potentially see a breakout of this trend line. I should have put more emphasis on MU, but let's kind of go into the trades that I was looking for and what I got in on. Nvidia. I was being very selective, very patient today. I could have been looking for an entry closer to our 188, but it really wasn't doing too much. I was interested once it broke above our previous day highs. We had that nice base. I was waiting for more buyers to step in. And you can see once I was basing here, the 5-minute looked fairly solid as well. So I ended up taking this towards the upside. The main one was Tesla. I actually took Tesla first. So Tesla here, as it came back down, you can see it's retesting our previous day highs. So our previous day highs, the level I actually had marked out was this. Previous day highs along with our 5-minute range high. Once we broke above, you can see nice retest. Got in as this candle was forming. This 1013 candle looking for high of day plus continuation, We had a gap fill back towards the upside. So I was interested in Tesla for a potential move up in towards our 417 for continuation higher. Price push towards the upside, right? This was relatively weak, so I was looking to scale a little bit more aggressively. But for Tesla, ended up scaling, I think it was 50% or 40% as it gravitated towards this high, and then ended up cutting the rest for a loss. So small loser on Tesla, but just no relative strength compared to the Q. So I ended up cutting this one quickly. As for Nvidia, this one key level that I have marked out was our pre-market highs plus our 5-minute range high. Very similar, kind of basing here. Once we had more buyers step in, stop loss was a break below, and I was looking for a continuation up and towards our key strike level, which was our 190. Nice push towards upside, nice pop on the premiums, scaled some, and then as it came back down, ended up cutting the rest of my position. So that was it. MU, nice push towards the upside. This is the one that I ended up missing today, but that was super solid. Palantir, I really couldn't find an entry on this one. Maybe you could have been looking for that 139 or the reclaim back above your pre-market highs. But yeah, really not too much that I saw on the tech side today. So I think I did a pretty good job of managing and trading what I was looking at least. Yeah, that's about it. Let me pull up the live session here. As I mentioned, there wasn't really too much to talk about today. Overall markets, let me kind of just speed up this live session. You can see just a lot of consolidation right off the bat. So we're being very patient. But once Qs broke above our previous day highs, we're a little bit more interested in some upside here on a couple of these names. But you can see a lot of names are just showing relative weakness, right? AMD was weak. NVIDIA wasn't really doing too much as the Qs is pushing higher. Or a couple names. MU was something we were looking at a little bit earlier. I wasn't able to find a solid entry on this one as I was pushing, but I was being very selective and I was waiting for the break. At this point in time, you can see how strong the Qs is compared to everything else, but I was interested in this NVIDIA retest. Tesla, we're interested in as well off your previous day highs in this 5-minute range high. So Tesla ended up getting in on the flip of this candle, looking for a high day plus continuation. Was also interested in NVIDIA here as well. Yeah, I ended up picking up some NVIDIA calls as well for Hive Day plus continuation. But those ones didn't really have too much continuation. NVIDIA had some continuation, but Tesla hit Hive Day and rejected. So yeah, not really too much that I liked today. Pretty short trade recap, but yeah, that's going to be it for me today. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Peace.